This video will provide a short walkthrough of the formatting for Sakai 11 regression test scripts, as well as best practices for testers that will be executing the test conditions within these scripts. The regression scripts themselves can be accessed from the Sakai 11 master test scripts list, which is linked in the description for this video. For an example of the completed regression script, see the Gradebook Classic script, also linked below. Also note that there is a link to an accompanying regression test script format and setup doc with more detailed information for the topics that we will be covering in this video. So let's begin then with the formatting of Sakai 11 regression test scripts. The most recent regression scripts have been updated to contain consistent column titles, headers, and coloring. Note that the first 5 columns are colored green, denoting the test condition information, while the remaining columns are colored yellow, denoting columns in which the QA testers will be entering information and results from their testing. From left to right, these columns consist of a number column for providing the numbering for test conditions, test condition for entering a short summary of the requirement that is being tested, role for providing the user role that will be used to complete a given step in a test condition, steps for outlining the individual steps that must be undertaken to test the condition, and expected result for providing the expected outcome of key steps in a test condition. And as for the tester columns, we have an actual result column where the tester can provide the actual outcome encountered during testing for a given step or test condition, and then a series of tester information columns wherein each tester can provide a status for a given step or condition, comments for entering notes around a given step or condition, and JIRA number for entering links to any JIRAs that the tester creates around a given test or condition. Note that the first 3 rows in the regression script are frozen, which keeps the column headers visible as you scroll through the spreadsheet. Now, only 2 of these 3 rows are visible by default. There's a hidden second row for providing information around a given round of testing. To expand this second row, simply click the double arrow icon that appears between the first and third rows on the far left. Once expanded, testers can provide their testing info into the second row, then collapse the row again to maximize the vertical real estate in the spreadsheet. To do so, right-click on the row and select Hide Row. Now, before going through the specifics of how to execute scripts as a tester, let's take a look at the format of the test conditions themselves in the spreadsheet. The scripts are organized by categories of test conditions, highlighted in blue and numbered. These conditions can be categorized by tool screen, assignments list, for example, or by common theme. In this case, we have adding gradebook items. Below, we have our test conditions listed. As you can see, individual test conditions are numbered with decimals as subsets of the overarching test condition category, so 2.1, 2.2, etc. This numbering occurs only in the number column and is only entered for the first step in a test condition. If there's more than one step in a condition, these additional steps are not numbered, which makes it easier to add or copy and paste steps. To the right, we have a brief summary of what the condition is that's being tested. We provide a user role for the first step, then note if the user role must be changed at any point in testing the condition. Here, for example, we see that we need to switch to a student role. And under steps, we see that each step in the condition is entered into a separate row. This allows us to easily copy and paste repeating steps or insert additional steps along the way. The expected results column provides outcomes for key steps in the process. This means that there doesn't necessarily always need to be an expected outcome. However, it should note when new screens appear, menus open or close, content gets generated, etc. And that's the basic structure of the testing script. Next, let's walk through the process of executing a script as a tester. When doing regression testing for a given tool, you should provide information around your testing into the tester information columns. Since there are multiple sets of these columns, you can grab any set that's free. If they're all taken, you can just add additional columns and copy the formatting of a previous set over. Okay, So after entering your name, then expanding the second row, you can then enter information for the date, tag, server, and browser in which you will be conducting testing. You may then begin testing the conditions listed in the script. As you work through the individual steps in a condition, you can use the status column to indicate whether a step has passed or failed. If you need assistance with a particular step or condition, you can mark it as triage as well. You may then report the actual results encountered and provide any notes around a step or condition in your tester information columns. Once you've worked your way through the test conditions in a script, if you create any JIRAs for issues you've encountered, you can provide the link to a JIRA for a given step or conditions row. For detailed info on creating a JIRA, see Trisha Gordon's video on creating JIRAs, which is linked in the video description below. And that's it. Thanks for watching and for helping with the QA process for Sakai 11.